Greetings and welcome back to Smartwatch Ticks. We're a YouTube channel on the web at smartwatchticks.com. This box holds something near and dear, something I've been looking for quite a while for, and something I think you have too if you even didn't know it. Inside of here, we have a smartwatch that does temperature. Yeah, we've done a bunch of those before, but this one, unlike all the others, uses an infrared sensor, the same kind of sensor you find in the airports and at grocery stores and at restaurants, that they just point it at your skin, usually your forehead, pull a trigger, and boom, you've got an instant temperature. It's called the CV06, a Bakeey product from Banggood. Check the show notes for a discount. It's a little pricey right now, but this is the first of its kind in a watch format. You're about to see what I mean. It does 24-hour temperature detection on your wrist, and it can double as a forehead sensor using infrared technology. Really advanced. It's got Bluetooth 5.0 for connecting, and a bunch of other goodies. What do we got? It's a touch screen. Now, it's just a single button touch. It's not swipe. It's a little awkward to get used to. Its shining point, literally, is the infrared temperature sensing. The rest of it needs some work, honestly. But it does do some basic stuff. It's using a new app called Keep Health that we haven't seen with before, but it can share the data that it collects with Google Fit or Apple Health. It's got all these different languages in the app, and the band itself is pretty restrictive, just getting started. IP67 waterproof, standard step count, everything else that you see. It does have a weather display, music control, and built-in brightness right on the device itself. It's a 1.3-inch, 240 by 240. Again, nothing really to write home about except for the temperature monitoring. So let's take a look at that. I'm going to pull the unit out, and we'll take off the cover. And as far as how it's packaged, you get different choice of bands. This is one of those Milanese wrap around your wrist kind, and inside the box itself, it comes with the quick disconnect pins, including an extra one that you can use, a 2-pin charger that connects on the back, and the little manual in Chinese and English, separate manuals with a quick start that says the basic parts, the charging of the unit, the downloadable QR code, but I recommend you use the link in our show notes to get you over to the Google Play Store to download Keep Health, something new, how you pair it with the phone, some main questions that may come up, unbinding with the phone. On the back side, you see some of the pictures of what we're going to look at on the band itself. Then you've got pay attention, warnings, how you reboot and restart, notifications, some questions, and some more questions. And that's it for the manual. So what I'm about to show you when we turn this thing on is this. Are you ready? Here we go. Now we want to play with it a little bit before I actually put bands on it and put it on. Press the button, says hello, comes up with the first watch face. There you are. Now, going through this, you tap it right at the bottom. It will activate it when it's asleep. Tap anywhere else and it's not sensitive, just at the bottom. So remember that. You cycle through things and you long press here. When we get into sport, I can press and nothing happens because this is just step count, okay? And a distance traveled and calories burned. Press again. Now if I long press, I would start doing the heart rate using the diodes in here. But we want to get to the really fun part, the temperature here. I'm going to long press, and I can go over and I can do wrist mode, or I can do forehead mode. Now I'm going to press on the forehead mode. Going to give a countdown, and that's the little IR sensor right there, and it's reading right now. Yeah, you can't even see it, can you? Yeah, but it's not getting anything because I'm not pointing it at my forehead. So we're going to come back and play with this. but let's look at the rest of it. You've got, what is this? Training. I'm going to long press in here, and I can get into different activities you can do, like walking and running, cycling. There's no GPS on it, of course. Rope skipping, badminton, basketball, football, back again. I'm just going to go into walking and show you that you get your step count, distance traveled, calories burned, heart rate versus time. And everything is calculated from there. You have to long press to get out of it. You can pause it or stop it or return. We'll stop it to get out of here. And the rest of these would operate the same way. And then I can hit the back button to take us back. Move on to messages, which are readable on the screen. You have a music player tethered to the phone. And when you long press here, you get into 4 different styles of time. I'll show you those later. You can find your phone if you're tethered, a little stopwatch, reset the watch, change the brightness over a pretty good scale. There's again the QR code. You can scan it right off of YouTube if you want, that you'd be able to download the app. Back again from here. And then finally, you're back to overall time. So let's get into that temperature stuff. You guys remember this thing? We reviewed it a while back, the Wellue Checkme Pro, the super fantastic high-end Swiss knife of health that has all kinds of features, including infrared temperature on it. And here it is. That, folks, is going to be my gold standard to check everything against, because this is really calibrated well. That's the temperature probe on the top. Notice it uses the same kind of concept. It's like a gold interior with a little round sensor emitter thing at the bottom. Well, let's do it. I'm going to first do my wrist. The temperature is right here. It tells you how to do it, and that you're supposed to do it on your forehead. Here's my wrist. I am going to, because it's going to be making contact, I'm going to start it right here. It's making a little noise. It's checking my temperature, and it's coming up with 96.6. Now, we're going to come back here into the watch. Touch, touch, touch. Long press. Touch. There's the wrist mode, and I'm going to long press here. And it's loading, it's testing, and it's coming back with 97.1. Quite a bit of a difference, and I'll tell you why. This, as all these other instruments you see in the airports and everywhere, are set to work off of a forehead and not off of the wrist. But these guys making a watch realized that they needed to set a separate mode to get accurate temperature by using the wrist. I'm going to come in here now and instead go to the forehead mode. Long press. It's giving a countdown. I'm holding it on my forehead. I know you can't see it. I'm actually touching my skin right now. And I'm waiting for a vibration. There it is. And the reading is 98.6. Oh, really? Okay. How about the super calibrated one? Starting it. It's making its noise. I'm touching my forehead. And 97.7. Wow, that's quite a difference. Let's try it not touching. Long press. Oh, okay. I'm holding it a couple of inches away, and I'm moving it around a little bit. That's what they recommended to do for the Wellue product. And 97.8. Let's try it one more time here. Going. And likewise, I'm moving it around a little bit, about 2 inches away. And 97.8. Folks, has to do with how you do it and where you do it, but they're spot on, honestly. I've done this before a few different times. That's why I wanted to show you the process, iterating to the proper way. Just like at the airport, you hold it a few inches away, let it take in a broad part of your forehead to get the signal, and you'll get it right. When you're doing it on the wrist, though, you definitely need to use the other mode, because it's been set to calibrate for wrist action when it's worn as a watch. Also, and now we're getting 97.0 on the wrist, which you'd think your body temperature would be the same everywhere, but because of weather and temperature in the room and whatnot, it can probably be off a little bit. This one does full continuous heart rate and temperature measurement in the app, which I'm going to bring in and show you right now. The Keep Health is the name of the app from the Google Play Store. When you load it and you've set it up to get into it, and we'll put the Wellue away for a minute, you get, you know, your basic stuff. There's the overall step count. By the way, this kind of stays in the mode that you were in unless you push your way back to the back, hit it, and then come through everything and get back over here to your time. Yeah, needs a little work on the user interface, but it does the temperature, which is pretty awesome. I go into the temperature section, and here you go. Here's where I took it off when I was getting ready to set up for the video, but I've been wearing it all night and all day, and you can see the changes in its overall temperature, probably reading basically the ambient room temperature. Anyway, it gets down to a minimum of 94, maximum of 98 over that duration of period. You can do it daily. It can give you summaries over 30 days, over 6 months as points. So if you want something using infrared technology to accurately check your temperature continuously and monitor it over time, this might be the puppy that'll do that. You've got the heart rate then here as well, and it shows you your minimum, average, and maximum over time. And here I've got a few different peaks. And by the way, you can actually touch anywhere on this chart to see those values. And that's your continuous heart rate. Does the same thing over time here. And I'm curious, do I get temperature values? Sure enough, look at that. Okay. I could touch and bring up the temperature value at any particular point, and it gives you the time as well. Wow, wow. All right, this is last night, 3:15 in the morning, 97.7 as measured on my wrist using infrared. Nice. Okay, and then you got sleep time, and it gives you a nice sleep chart, shows you your awake times when you're falling asleep. That's new. I haven't seen that. That little section here is when I got up for a while and then fell asleep again. There's your shallow and your overall awake time and deep sleep. No REM sleep on this, and you can get a bar chart that represents your 30-day, 6-month, or 1-year overall average if you choose to wear this thing all the time. You got alarms, you got outdoor sports, which you can use to tie into GPS on the phone, so you can wear the watch and you can do an activity and record your track on here. And if you do that, you'll get sports records that would show up here. Time, distance, or calories could be represented in that as well. And that's it for the page. The top is, of course, your overall step count throughout the day. Your activity duration, again, you can have it over all of the different averages there. Calories and distance traveled, you can export all of that. The overall device, you set it to run in the background. You can have notifications pushed to the watch, and you can read them on the device as well. Set your goals, your device settings, heart rate interval, and warning. You can have it vibrate when it exceeds a certain upper limit of heart rate, and it shows you your interval based on your age and gender and those kind of things. Alarms, sedentary minders you can turn on in this through the app, or set the alarms up directly in here. Here's your continuous heart rate, here's your continuous temperature, and here's your twist your wrist to see the time. You can't set the intervals, so at night if you have this turned on and you roll over, it's going to light up. So that's another addition they could make as they refine the app, is to put in a do not disturb window. You can search for the bracelet, you know, if you've lost it, music player, camera control for remote photographs, all that stuff, and then of course firmware and whatnot. And then there's you, where you can set up your own profile, do your own account management. If you create an account and log in, I'm going in as a guest right now, so I'm not even in there. So you don't have to be part of the cloud if you don't want to. You got system set up, your overall unit sharing. You can do Celsius and metric if you want. And that's pretty much it. Okay, I do want to put the bands on it, put it on, and show it to you actually how it looks on your wrist. I change faces on you. I've never seen one like this where the seconds are huge. That's actually kind of fun. It definitely would attract attention. There's two others, an analog and another digital one, but I just wanted to go in again. Oh yeah, I can't swipe. I just touch at the bottom. to the temperature section, long press, go to the wrist mode, long press, and it's now using that infrared, not the diodes, to get me the temperature measured right at my wrist, okay? And this is what it looks like on. This is the Milanese, I always pronounce it wrong. I can take this thing off. The protective cover, oh, that's on there, good. It's a magnetic clasp style. Come on. There we go. That is easily slide on and off like that. And remember, you're going to need to take it off to be able to do the forehead measurement. So you might want to consider a different band, or make sure you have to slide this over to the side if you're going to hold that up at your or somebody else's forehead. It would be really cool to see two of these on the device, one on the back and one somewhere here on the front. So you simply just point your arm toward someone's forehead or your own and get that measurement. But for now, for the very first introduction ever on any smartwatch, any wearable, to have infrared temperature measurement, it's a good beginning. It's a thin watch, thinner than I thought it would be, and it works great for the continuous temperature measuring. And you can put the band on either way, to where it slides this way and you pull it, or you do it backwards like I did this time. I had it the other way when I tested it earlier. And just slap it in, hold it down, and you've got it. Very nice. So once again, you can get the advanced temperature measurement directly from Wellue, which is this one here, that will take a measurement anywhere you point it on the body, but preferably to the forehead. 97.1 I'm getting continuously in this general area of my body. And of course, that's from GoWellue.com, which will get you a 15% discount over the price. I know it's an expensive one, but it does ECG and everything else. Got a full review on this. I'll have a link in the show notes for you if you want to go into much more detail on advanced temperature monitoring as well as everything else. Or if you're looking to get into this particular watch primarily for the infrared temperature capabilities, you can pick it up directly from Banggood. It's the CV06 IR 24-hour temperature watch, and it's available right now in a whole bunch of different band styles, so your choice. Okay, check the show notes for the discount and the buying link to pick this one up, and we'll see you back here again soon. Thanks for watching.